Hello, everybody. Hope, what day is it even today? Thursday, yeah, okay. Hope your Thursday's going well so far. So, we are back with Katawa Shoujo, obviously. So, last stream, what happened with this game? We officially started, Act 2 of Shizune's route. We ran to Shizune the day after the festival, talked to her through a pen and pad for a bit, and she admitted she took us out to the festival to specific stalls that we had actually made to try to get us to hopefully cheer up a little because she knew we were depressed. So she's pretty goddamn observant. After that, it was just kind of trying to get back into the flow of things. Also talking to Misha and seeing about taking some sign language classes, just so we could communicate with Shizune. And we're getting to that point now. Her ... text everywhere is starting to be filled in with bracketed lines of dialogue. So we're starting to be able to understand her now. We won't exactly be needing Misha to, communicate for her. So at the point we're at now, we're supposed to be getting ready for Tanabata. We have to reassemble all the stalls that we had just previously taken apart from the school festival. And it's just gonna be Shizune and Hisao. Because Misha has classwork to do. She's really, really behind. So it's just gonna be me and Shizune putting stalls together and actually, for real, talking to each other now. Because Misha decided to spill the beans that we were taking sign language classes. As much as she can be annoying, Misha's heart is in the right place. She's that bubbly, energetic friend you just kind of want to have. Or that you do have. Just that one friend that just kind of says whatever's on their mind. It's just kind of like the minute they walk in the room, you just kind of smile at them. Alright. So we'll load up our save, and we'll continue on with Shizune's route. Throw back my daily fistful of pills with a glass of water. After a solid 8 hours of sleep, I don't really know what I was afraid of last night. As I chew a particularly large tablet in half, I continue to rationalize my worries away. Shizune knew I was taking sign language classes all day yesterday and didn't make a big deal out of it. She might be mute, but that doesn't mean she can't make her feelings known. No, in fact, it seems like she's all the more direct for it. She doesn't beat around the bush or hold back. She always makes herself clear unapologetically, so there can be no mistakes. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard to convey certain kinds of emotion through sign language. So if she wasn't mad then, it's unlikely she would be at all. And on top of that, I didn't really do anything wrong anyway. But as that fear of mine recedes, the thought of spending a couple days with Shizune without Misha takes its place. I hadn't really thought about it yesterday, but the idea becomes more and more intimidating. It's true I can understand sign language pretty well, but I would definitely hesitate to say I can understand it above a basic level. And if she were to speed up her signing, which she does quite a bit, I don't think I could keep up. Signing, too, is not my strong suit. Doing both at the same time like Misha can, is still a distant dream. Alright, so we're doing this right away.
He-chan,
What?
don't forget, you said you would help out with this building stalls today. Behind the school after classes are over, okay?
I know, I know.
Last time you helped out, He-chan, we really appreciated it. This time, it's even more important, so skipping out is unforgivable, okay?
I want to ask why that is, but there isn't an opportunity to. Besides, Misha's behind in her classes, so it seems like a bad idea to distract her now that I know that. I can always ask her at lunch, which is what I end up doing.
Because, He-chan, a festival that celebrates a town is exactly what it sounds like. It's to celebrate your home and its history. Tanabata is different. It's for wishes and lovers. That definitely makes it more important, doesn't it? Yeah, naturally it would be.
Is that really what it's for, though?
He-chan, you have no sense of fun.
She puffs out her cheeks in displeasure before blowing the air out like a deflating balloon. I always just laugh at something being described as a deflating balloon. Just for some stupid thing I read on the internet about Final Fantasy characters. Every time I hear the name Cloud Strife, I immediately picture a deflating balloon.
You have to appreciate things like that, even if it's just an excuse to eat interesting things and dress up in the end. I'll be disappointed in you if you don't, okay?
Before I can say anything, she turns to the side to inhale a croquette. She inhales it. Oh my god. Chew your food. After classes, I meet Shizune behind the school, where it seems she's already set up everything sometime yesterday. Or set everything up sometime yesterday, okay, yeah. Everything's set up, ready to go for us to start working on these damn stalls. That's what, ugh. She greets me with a short wave, and then with a flourish of the hammer already in her hand, extends her arm toward the stalls behind her. Some of them already half completed, others still haphazard piles of boards bundled together with string. As time passes, I realize the pills can only do so much. I still get way more tired than should be normal. Luckily, Shizune's back is to me, so I can afford to take a lot of breaks without having to worry about her wondering why. When I stop and think about it, though, I start to feel pretty guilty for taking advantage of her inability to hear my hammer stop that my hammer stopped banging. It's a terrible thing to be happy about. Her work ethic is admirable. It's obvious that it bores her and even annoys her, but she doesn't slacken her pace. When she gets tired nailing a stall together with one arm, she switches to the other. Shizune. I feel like an idiot the second I say her name. I can't tell her what I think. There's a hammer in my hand, and in the end, I feel like I have to keep up with her. Can't slack off either, especially when it's just the two of us. There's no time to sign, no opportunity. Not even for a compliment for a job well done. That's actually a very good point. Shizune needs her hands to communicate with somebody. So, her holding anything or doing work with her hands negates her ability to speak at all. That's gotta be quite the thing to kind of contend with. If she wants to talk to someone while she's doing work, she has to stop everything she's doing, think about what she actually wants to say, and then sign it. That's that's actually quite the thing to have to work around. Just for her to be able to talk to someone, she has to literally stop everything. Everyone else at the very least, we can still continue working while she's signing, but once she's done, and we want to communicate back, we also have to stop what we're doing. So, yeah, just manual labor, stuff like this, that'd actually get really boring and annoying after a while, because it'll just be so quiet, nothing to, because you can't just sit there and do idle chit-chat. There's no idle chit-chat when your only method of communication is sign language. You can't sit there and joke around with your friends while you're doing stuff, because you just can't. You need your hands to work. Oh, God. I just feel a little bad for Shizune. Even something as casual that would require me to put my hammer down, get her attention, and then sign it to her. Yeah, exactly. You gotta go through so much more effort just to say, good job. That's like almost not even worth it at that point. Just for, we already got a tight deadline for this, so just stopping for little things like that, oh man, that's hard to figure out. Simple gesture turned into something so needlessly complex, like a single footstep taken on a road that's longer than first imagined. I've known her long enough to know this, and I still forgot it. The air is filled with the rhythmic knocking of nails being driven into wood. It's actually kind of nice after a while. To pass the monotony of the task at hand, I try to match my hammering to Shizune's, then alternate it to try and form a beat. Of course, she doesn't notice. It makes me wonder, does the lack of sound make this work seem more drawn out and boring to her? Is it strange, being unable to hear the results of her actions even as she feels the vibrations through her fingers? Or, having no concept of sound, does it bother her at all? That's also a very good question. We can hear perfectly fine, so we have no idea what is considered normal for Shizune with no concept of sound. Like, it's something she's lived with all her life, so that's just her normal. She's used to it, just like we are used to hearing everything. Even looking back at Lily's route, she's been blind her entire life. She's never had the concept of sight. That was just her normal. We're used to being able to see everything. So in both their cases, seeing something in Lily's case and hearing something in Shizune's case are totally foreign things. Just like us, if we were to suddenly lose our sight and lose our hearing, it would be incredibly foreign to us. Eventually, we'll adapt, but it still takes a lot of getting used to. Those two were born this way, so that's just been their life. That's just been their normal. It's something that, honestly, no one other than someone else with the same kind of, thing can truly relate to. This freaking game. This game really just makes you think. Like, ugh. What you consider normal is just normal to you. What someone else thinks and feels, that is their normal. There is no singular normal. It's all individualized. Huh. really kind of puts things into perspective. Ooh. Yep. I think I'm getting too introspective this early in the morning. Distracted, I don't notice Shizune sneaking up on me until her head pops into view. Taking a break? Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's do that. You can understand sign language. That makes it more convenient for both of us. Even though you hid it from me. Why? Why what? Why did you decide to take sign language? Her eyes don't break out from mine even for a second. If she needs to read my response, her peripheral vision is good enough. Once she has something in her gaze, she doesn't look away. It's strange how piercing her eyes can be, dark as a lake at night. Because I wanted to. It seemed like it would come in handy. And it did, didn't it? Yes. Sorry, I didn't catch any of that. See? This kind of thing still comes up now and then. I wish Misha was here. She has work to make up for, doesn't she? That might be partly my fault. Misha doesn't need supplemental lessons. Her grades aren't the best, but she understands how the decision she makes affects others. That puts her ahead of many people. Especially certain blondes. Ah. She doesn't forget things easily. Your sign language is very good. You're learning oddly fast. I've been taking classes for a while now, and it's kind of easy to pick up after a while, through immersion or osmosis, that kind of thing. It's not too bad. And if I'm really stuck, Misha's there too. Guess I spoke too soon. I didn't understand any of that. Time to backpedal. Well, yeah, it's actually not that easy. It's actually hard as hell, like trying to pick up broken glass. But I guess in some ways, it's interesting as well. Like an adventure. Well, no. Picking up broken glass is not an adventure. Sure it is. It's just challenging. If you use a dustpan and a broom, it's not. I feel frustrated and sad. When I look up, I notice she has a can of soda in her hand. Where'd you get that? I forget to sign it, but she understands anyway, following my eyes and produces another one from behind her back. She tosses it in my direction, and I catch it with both hands. I brought an extra one for you. She pauses to slide her fingernail onto the tab of her can and pop it open before setting it aside for a moment. If you're going to try and help me so much, then I have to look out for you too. It's only natural. If you're going to learn sign language, that is something entirely different. I'm naturally going to be impressed. What separates the two is obligation. I'm very happy. She downs her drink in one go, stretches her arms behind her back, and jumps up to her feet. Okay, back to work. Wow, even just eating. She has to stop eating if she wants to talk. So even just this little break of her... yeah, they made a point of pointing out that, yeah, she opens her can, but then sets it aside just so she can continue to talk. And like that, it's over. Shizune returns to her work with the same energy as before, the lingering traces of a smile on her face, the only evidence that she had taken a break at all. As I do the same, I think that Misha was right in saying everything would work out for the best. Everything so far seems to be going in that direction. Misha swings by as it starts to get darker, looking just as tired as I feel, and Shizune decides to stop for today. As we cover the day's work and go our separate ways, I look at how fluidly they talk to each other, and how easily they laugh together as they walk to their dorm. Makes me appreciate Misha's skill at sign language more. I wonder if I'll ever reach that level, or if I will even have the time to. First thing I do this morning is trip once again over Kenji's package as I get out of bed, finding myself diving headfirst into the floor before I'm even fully awake. I want to smack this thing with the first blunt object I can find, like I'm going for a home run. But I don't even have the energy for that this early in the morning, and it would likely damage whatever's inside. And that would be mean. I slide it into the hallway. It sails along the smooth floor with little difficulty and stops with a soft, almost inaudible bump on colliding with Kenji's door. Immediately, a dozen locks unbolt in succession like a mounting symphony. Oh my god, he heard that. Who is it? He says as he blindingly steps forward into the hallway anyway, somehow stepping over the box in a way that would be uncharacteristically, impressively graceful if it weren't for the fact I know it was wholly accidental. It's me. I got your mail. You're standing over it. I know. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, whatever. So what's in it? He cringes, instantly turning very defensive and agitated. It's nothing. Come on, tell me. I'm curious. And you know, I almost broke my neck falling over it. Before that, I had to carry that stupidly large box around with it blocking my vision, crossing roads with it in front of me. I think you could at least tell me what's inside in return. It's secret stuff. I can't tell you, because then it wouldn't be very secret and shit. It's nothing important. Well, if it's nothing important, you can tell me. If it's nothing important, why do you have to know? Why is that wrong? Why do you have to know? Why can't I know? Why are you answering my questions with questions? Why won't you answer my first question? Why won't you answer my last question? I realize our voices are getting higher with each reply. Down the hall, a door pops open and someone sticks his head out quizzically to see what's going on. We must look like such tools, but I bet I'm the only one of the two of us with enough shame to realize it. Fine, you can take it to your grave. I have to get ready for school anyway. Damn, no! Why are you so hasty to leave? Stick around a little. You want some coffee? It's been a while. You know, I thought you were dead since you were so slow with the package delivery. You're lucky I was willing to do package delivery in the first place, smartass. Whoa, calm down. Man, you are so confrontational. Is it because of the student council thing? I hear you hang out with them now. You heard it from me. when I told you. Really? Yeah, well, whatever, man. Point is, they're terrible. You're the new guy, so of course you wouldn't know. But around here, she's a very divisive figure. Before you came here, she tried to institute a badge policy. It's a long story. Maybe you should sit down. I look around for a chair, but can't find one as we're in a goddamn hallway. I raise a finger and start thinking that maybe I should tell him that, but he's already started talking. Not wanting to waste the arm movement, I look at my watch instead. Would have been a real reign of terror if it had happened. Wait, you're judging her based on something that didn't even happen? Yes. Anyway, her idea was like merit badges, but they would also be demerit badges. What would those do? I don't know. It never happened. It seemed bad, though, so when I heard about it, I didn't leave my room for a few weeks. So you heard there would be massive change and hid in your room, trying to just ride the change out. Nah, I decided to do something about it. I found the student council office after a while and marched right in there with a list of demands and a bunch of people I grabbed in order to make myself look like I had supporters. Wait, so not only did it not happen, but no one even cared? Kenji doesn't hear me, haven't gotten a good momentum going. Wrapped up in the energy of his own ranting, he starts to completely flip out and flail his arms, appearing to wildly throw gang signs. I walked up to her desk and said, "Hey, you, fascist woman! What is this badge idea? How out of touch can you be, here in your ivory tower, smugly looking down upon us like we're a bunch of idiots? Who do you think you are? Your level of elitism is terrible. You're probably one of those outrageous rich people who have chauffeurs driving them around the slums so they can point and laugh. You'd only drink pricey coffee beans shat out by the last living dinosaur and brewed in a solid gold skull. And how could you? Go open up a history book. Don't you know that the bourgeoisie are always overthrown in a bloody revolution for shit like this? Stupid! You're an idiot! Sure, the revolutionaries usually end up turning everything into an utter clusterfuck later on, but a maniac is the only kind of person who would create a policy like this. It's like something that I would create to make people suffer. Only real, and you want to institutionalize it? Oh my god, fucking Kenji, I can't keep up with him. I cannot keep up with this fucking mad lad. Where will this desecration of our rights end? We are people. This is not justice. That's what I said. Then I added a cry of, they can take our things, but they'll never take our freedom! To appeal to the masses, like in that movie about the life of William Wallace, where they took his things, but not his freedom, and then they killed him. But she just ignored me, and didn't even look up from writing on her little paper shit. Maybe I overwhelmed her with my logic so badly she just retreated into denial. Maybe she's just an asshole. Either way, she didn't reply, and the future refused to change. To top it off, on the way back I realized I'd lost my student ID somewhere. This is the story of my life. A constant and seemingly futile struggle, like trying to climb up a brick wall with sponges for hands. Hey, you said nothing changed, but she didn't make everyone wear a bunch of stupid badges. So it did change. Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe they're not so bad then. I guess that counts for something. If I can get Kenji to admit that maybe 2 women may not be so bad after all, I'll take it. Especially if it allows me to slip out from this conversation. I didn't realize how much time had gone by. Jesus Christ. I can't keep up with him, and I'm pretty sure he shows up the most in this route. Try to run through my usual morning routine as quickly as possible. I check my watch again as I leave the dorms and see that I'm already late. Fortunately, the rest of the day goes more smoothly, and after classes are over, I head to meet with Shizune again. Behind the school, I catch her leaning against a completed stand with parts of it still flecked with bits of paper and tape, remnants of signs from the last time it was used. Absent-mindedly spinning a nail in her hand, she hasn't noticed me yet. The temptation to sneak up on her is unbearable. Years of watching foreign wildlife documentaries have prepared me for this. I'm downwind. Conditions are favorable. However, the more I think about it, the more it seems like a bad idea. If I get caught halfway, I'll look like an idiot. And if she doesn't know it's me, I could end up with an injury. Either way, I'll also look a little insensitive. So it'd probably be best not to try anything funny. As disappointing as it is. I walk in front of her, startling her a little. Why so surprised? Did I catch you slacking off?
No, I was taking a break.
You don't look like you even broke a sweat. That's some break there, President. Shizune's eyes dart back and forth momentarily, and I think I've managed to fluster her. There's exasperation on her face, and a little tension as well, but she can't back down. That would be unthinkable for her. Her fingers dance across each other impatiently.
You're acting competitive today. Are you trying to get my blood boiling? Do you want to make it a contest? We'll race to see who can construct the most stalls by sundown.
No. I'm teasing you. That's okay, it's not a real student council if you can't tease the student council president a little. You agree, don't you?
That isn't in the student council charter, so it isn't true.
There's no charter. At least I don't think there is. The only thing they pledge loyalty to are a stack of takeout menus.
Anyway, it's good you're finally here, even if you could have been earlier. Pick up a hammer and we'll resume where we left off.
As we work assembling stalls again, I slowly realize that it's really much less work than I would have expected. In fact, according to Shizune, we should be done by the end of the day with a little luck. Last time I did something like this for them, it took her, Misha, and myself almost 4 days to do it. Can't be just my imagination. You know, this doesn't seem like that much work.
Because it isn't.
The answer leaves me wanting a little more. Knowing that isn't the best, Shizune puts down her hammer to elaborate.
It would be impossible for 2 people to do that much work in less than a week. The truth is that I don't dismantle half the stalls. I just store them someplace else. Actually, more like I hide them in plain sight.
She waggles a finger mischievously.
But that's a secret, and it's not proper to reveal the tricks of the trade.
You're not a magician. Winking, she takes out 2 plastic containers from her bag, then puts them down on a nearby board before raising her hand slightly as if to say, "Ta-da!" I made lunch today for both of us. You can have this one. The food shifted in my bag, and now some of it is mixed together. She hands me one of the containers. I open it. It looks delicious, if a little simple. She hands me a pair of chopsticks as if she had just remembered to, and I eat what looks like some grilled beef. It's very tasty. You don't like your food touching other food?
I do not.
You're very picky.
Sometimes I mix my food on my own, but not always, and not everything. I don't like it when it's done for me. What is important is the choice.
She points decisively to emphasize it, and then breaks her chopsticks apart to eat her own meal. As I continue to eat, I notice two things. The first is that almost everything I'm eating besides the rice is fried. Even the vegetables are fried. And there's so much meat. Does she eat this kind of stuff all the time? I wonder how she manages to stay so thin in spite of it, bro. Metabolism is a thing. You do not want her that shit. The second thing I notice is that I can't talk to her while eating. Talking with your mouth full is a little rude anyway, but with our hands holding our chopsticks and bowls, communication between us is impossible. Just like yesterday. Even though we're spending time together, even though I took the time to learn sign language, it feels like I'm talking to her less. Despite that, it also feels like I'm understanding her more. Oh, hi, Lily. I hear the sound of something tapping against one of the stands and look up to see Lily standing off to my side, feeling her way around with her cane. Hi. I narrowly catch myself before I say, "Didn't see you there."
Oh, Isao, is that you? I thought that I smelled something delicious cooking, and wondered who it might be. What is she saying?
It's hard to move my hands in parallel to saying something completely different to Lily. This has to be why Misha just signs everything all the time. A bit sillier, but it seems it would simplify things a lot. Shizune tense her fingers delightedly at my translation, as if from hearing a joke.
All of this food was cooked hours ago, but for someone as slow as yourself, who can't even turn in a piece of paper without being a week late, I guess your perception of time would have to be a little different. That's not very nice.
A frown crosses Lily's face in response to a reply to something she didn't hear. Sorry. I'm just having a late lunch here. Student council president cooked everything.
Is the student council president here right now?
She's right here.
I apologize. I didn't notice. Normally, her level of presence is much higher. I was not aware that the student council serves lunch outdoors. Why wasn't I invited? I think it's good to have enough free time to be able to do things like this, however. What is she saying?
I think my Lily voice is just gone completely now.
If I were to invite you anywhere, you would just show up late.
But Shizune's words are outside of Lily's perception, a fact that is by the second increasingly maddening to her.
Translate for me completely, please.
What polite phrasing. It's the same, she's essentially asking me to let her fully release the dogs of war. Still, I can't just do nothing. The feeling of being unable to even respond and be understood is so isolating. She would never forgive me. I'll just try to soften her words a little. Well, actually, this was all cooked a while ago.
Really? That's nice. Turn over here. It's very disrespectful to not look at the person you're speaking to. That isn't the way a prim and proper lady should conduct herself.
Half of what I'm saying is really what Shizune's saying. She doesn't like it when people don't look in her direction when she's trying to make a point. She's, to the right of my voice. Although, in this case, I can understand why Lily wouldn't. This is a very awkward situation, and it's daunting being the sole conduit for dialogue between the two of them. Truthfully, I had forgotten what happened the last time they butted heads like this. It's clear Shizune remembers, and Lily is being pretty hostile herself, in her own way.
I'm sorry. Such formalities slipped my mind completely. I forgot that the student council president is the type of person who would demand such respect and adherence to the rules at all times. I suppose student government requires you to keep a tight ship. Then again, she certainly has time for her own fun as well, so that must not be completely true.
Oh my fucking god.
Student council is not a dictatorship, nor a zero-sum game.
Shizune points at Lily with her finger out like the barrel of a gun, and snaps her fingers explosively, causing her to flinch and become visibly upset.
Is that so? Then that makes it more impressive that you've been part of it for so long, playing it as though it were one. I admire the fact that you were so tenacious. To manage it all, you must be so responsible as well. Not as much as I would like to be. You can't complain about yourself, though, can you?
I feel like they just now have the same voice. Well, what can you do? They are family.
You're very responsible. Actions like requesting a deadline to be extended and then running all the way through to the next deadline, that's the very model of responsibility.
Shizune is happy to hear that. But apparently you're pretty responsible yourself, she says.
Does she really?
More or less. Lily doesn't seem very happy. We're not holding a cookout, we're just taking a little lunch break. We're actually out here building stalls for the festival.
You wouldn't know since you never go outside. Did you run out of tea?
Are you going into town? Shopping?
No. As I said before, I was just passing by, in case you did not hear. I would hate to interrupt the student council president. You're not doing anything now, but you must both be very busy. In any case, Asao, I'm sure the student council president will be able to find or make work for both of you if she needs to. I'll devour you.
Jesus Christ, Shizune, stop. God damn it, Shizune. Yeah, very busy. Devour is a hard word. I'm pleased that I can read it. This isn't the time to celebrate, though. Not over that. Instead, it looks like they might stop squabbling. I would drink to that.
Have a nice day, Hisao. Goodbye, student council president.
Thanks. You too.
Stay classy.
As soon as Lily leaves, Shizune dives into the remains of her lunch as quickly as possible, as if each bite she shovels away is a means to forgetting any of this ever happened. When she's done, she heads right back to hammering with the same mindset. It's good that she's working off her frustration, but now it doesn't look like she's in any mood to talk anymore. About 2 hours later, she stops, having mowed through the rest of the stalls non-stop in that time. Still feels hard to approach her, and I think about how easily a conversation could die. After it took so long to be able to get her alone and speak to her directly, it almost hurts.
Your translation was good.
Really?
First class.
She punctuates it with a thumbs up.
For your level. There aren't many deaf people in the school, and sign language classes have been on the edge of getting cut for a while now. I'm sure you don't have many classmates. Am I right? If you're only learning sign language now, your speed is going to be limited. That is why your interest in it wanes, because it takes more effort than normal just to communicate. I imagine it's the same with all languages. In such a situation, conversations in sign language are less than they would inherently be to start with.
I don't understand that word. Less what?
Spontaneous. Misha is the only person who can really capture it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Her expression changes for a second, and changes back too quickly to digest. But I get the feeling that this isn't meant to be pursued. What I really want to know about this is... why do you and Lily fight so much? Tensing a little and visibly frowning, Shizune tenses her fingers and overlays them repeatedly, as if shuffling an invisible deck of cards.
Two fights that you'd know of aren't worth calling so much. If you had been here last year, you could say that.
I heard it was a rough year. Something about you tried to institute a badge policy? Surprised? Well, I want to hear more about that later, definitely. But you don't like Lily very much, do you? Don't dodge my question.
I'm not dodging anything. She was part of the student council until last year. We didn't get along very well. She wanted to keep doing things like the old student council did. The old student council was just so ineffectual. It was stupid and insulting. I wanted to do more, and we had a fight. A lot of fights. She couldn't do anything on time. Then she said that what I wanted to do was meaningless, just extra busy work. Does this look like meaningless busy work to you?
Shizune gestures around us.
What's really meaningless is a student council that doesn't do anything. Weak, lazy, and boring. Especially boring. I couldn't get excited over sitting in a room with nothing to do. It's just a waste of time. Why would I even be there? It didn't get my blood flowing. Arguing with her does that. If she could have been that motivated before, she wouldn't have put so much dedication into being my enemy. But if she shows that much spirit, it's not a complete loss. At least it's something. It's still exciting.
I see. And what about the badge thing? She laughs, covering her mouth with her hand as if to hide it. Her laughter is the only thing she regularly tries to hide.
That was just a joke. Having a little fun sometimes is important too.
Wow, the badges were a joke. And okay, yeah, that's why they fought. And they still fight, just because Shizune likes it. Because it's something, it gets her blood going, she wants that. Probably not very healthy, but oh well. The next day, I end up having to hunt around a bit at the start of lunch when I find that my usual vending machine near the dormitory buildings is sold out of my usual favorite canned coffee. The detour takes longer than I expected. Things have been so hectic lately that it takes some time for me to register why something smells different as I walk through the school gardens back to the cafeteria. The grass has been freshly mowed. The realization makes me pause and watch for a bit. The odd group of students chatting or playing around on the grass, and a couple teachers conversing on the path ahead, make for a very idyllic scene. Unfortunately, a feeling of imminent dread starts creeping up on me after a while. The feeling that I'm not alone. Fucking Kenji. Hey, Isao, is that you? Yeah, it's me. I guess you should be happy it's him and not, say, a slasher. Kenji begins talking as if he's having a conversation with someone other than me. Knew it. That haircut is unmistakable. No normal person would have a haircut like that. Unconsciously, I start touching the back of my head. Once I realize what I'm doing, I feel insulted, yet too surprised to even get indignant about it. Yeah. What are you doing here? Measuring the temperature. Winter will come soon. It'll be too cold for women to go out and have their Sex in the City-style power lunches, followed by obstructive human wave formation walks in crowded urban areas. When this happens, man will be able to walk the streets unfettered once again and reclaim what is his heritage. In order to prepare for that day, I've been eating nothing but pizzas for the past week. Store energy. Okay. That's what bears do. So, there's much we can learn from the bear. Kenji nods, empathetically agreeing with himself. You heard it from Kenji. There's much we can learn from the bear. Okay, let's check this shit out. I was in town today, buying milk. They had a new clerk. Some hipster girl with a baseball cap with 2 hockey sticks on it. I call her Hipster Hockey Baseball Hat Girl. I noticed the milk doesn't have a price tag, so I told her to get over there and label that milk for future generations. He was in town today? Must have cut his morning classes. I want to scold him, but his verbal torrent prevents me from getting a word in. She told me not to bother her because she was sick. Sick? Sick? No! No. We live in a society here. You can't just opt out of human interaction because you're sick. You know how much effort you know how much effort it takes me to even get up in the morning? I still do, though, and I got up that morning to go down there to buy milk, not to have my vital questions just brushed aside by some hipster doofus college girl who wears a hockey baseball cap to work. Indoors. Anyway, I was just trying to uphold the integrity of our products. A milk carton without a price tag? When I see something like that, it just leads to questions. Important questions. It's our job to answer them, damn it! That's the problem with women. They have no sense of duty. I get diarrhea a lot, but you don't see me complaining about it. I soldier on, do what I have to do anyway, because that's what being a man is all about. Even if you have diarrhea, you keep going, for the dream of a better tomorrow. I just can't. I can't. Kenji Seto, everybody. You know frequent diarrhea is bad. Maybe you should stop drinking so much milk. I can't do that. It's what allows me to maintain my awesome strength. And in this world,
Man's strength is the only thing that can't be browbeaten out of him by an increasingly pussy-whipped society.
Kenji, please stop.
Fucking what? That's why I walk around leaving open jars of olives everywhere. Sometimes just to show that I can.
Do you refrigerate after opening?
What? Man, I don't know. That's not important.
You have to refrigerate after opening. Even elementary school kids know that.
They can't get the jar open in the first place, so it doesn't matter.
Ah, that's true.
I'm a genius.
He self-assuredly rubs his chin, which is something I imagine scientists did. Until I met Muto and was tremendously let down.
Anyway, I can't go to that store again. This has clearly been compromised by bitches. Unless I disguise myself. Maybe change to a different pair of glasses.
Worst disguise ever.
It's been working flawlessly for all these years. I don't even need glasses to see. They're for effect. Also protect my identity. I'm like Superman.
Worst disguise ever.
I'm telling you, when people see my school ID, they can't even recognize me.
Really? Let me see.
Can't do that. Can't go around showing my ID to everyone. It was made long ago, in a different time. I had hippie hair.
While I'm trying to imagine that, Kenji takes his glasses off. He squints as soon as they're off his face, which makes him look even more tired than he already does. He was right. He does look very different. Kind of like he hasn't slept in years. Not different enough for it to be a good disguise, though. You need more sleep.
Nah.
You look like you need it.
No way. These are just the eyes of a man who has seen things. A shaman's eyes. Terrible things that you can't imagine. Like when I made a ship in a bottle and my mom sat on it. There was blood and shreds of floral print everywhere. That's what life experience is.
Kenji doesn't seem very horrified, even though I think this is actually the first thing he told me about himself that could have been legitimately traumatic. He's also talking about 30 degrees to my left, so I guess his blindness is real. I wave a hand in front of him anyway, to little effect.
Man, I hope you realize I'm just joking.
I laugh, pretending that I did. Somehow, looking him in the eyes is more difficult than usual.
Want some trivia? People with small eyes wear big glasses.
I've read that somewhere. It's because it makes your eyes look less beady.
Really? I don't know that.
That was just, done. He puts his glasses back on, and I feel oddly relieved for a moment, until I remember that I still have to deal with him, glasses or not.
Well, anyway, this artist girl wanted to paint my portrait once, I think. I had to talk to her like 5 times before she started making sense.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like Rin. Must have been Rin, I suppose. What'd she look like?
I don't know. A woman with sandals.
I was hoping you'd say something more specific, like she had no arms. Rin does wear sandals, but I feel like the chance of there being another free-spirited female art student wearing sandals besides her is reasonably high.
I was thinking, sure, someday, after I burn all documentation that I exist, it might be okay to leave a portrait behind, so that people can look at it and remember the savior of mankind. They'll need it to model the statue. Then I thought about it some more and had to turn her down. It was tempting, but she wanted it for some school thing. It would be displayed. People would ask who I was, only I haven't saved society yet, so it'd be pointless. And then if someone recognized me, I'd have to explain myself. That's already a chain of events I don't want to deal with. I don't want to get mixed up in some weird situation. Shit like that always happens. Sticking out is a surefire way to get put on a list. That's why I make such a careful effort to blend in with people in my daily life. Until I can make my move.
Sure. What list?
There are many lists. So, what are you doing here anyway?
Nothing. I kinda got here by accident.
Happens to me all the time. Well, hope that works out for you. I think I'm gonna go back to my dorm room. I need to set my TV to record my shows.
You have TV?
Yes, you should get over sometime. You can watch the game in high definition.
Before I can ask him what he's talking about, he's gone. He left like he came, with zero respect towards other people. Kind of amazing. Now that Kenji's gone, I resume looking aimlessly at the school gardens in their summer splendor. It's no use. He ruined them for me. When I get back to the cafeteria, exhausted but alive, I think of eating lunch with Shizune again, but find her sitting at a table with Misha already. If it were anyone else, I would think how blah 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 blah. What is happening? Must take drink. If it were anyone else, I would think how they were too far away for me to hear them. This is Shizune and Misha, however. If I wanted to, I could eavesdrop on their conversation easily. What a dirty thing to think about. But it's there. I don't want to, though. I must have a lot of catching up to do, even if it's only been a few days. I'm inclined to just leave them alone so they can do just that. However, the second they see me, they wave me over.
Hi, Hee-chan!
Hearing her voice again, even after such a short time apart, is jarring, and I wince. These past few days, I'd forgotten that communication with Shizune is almost entirely silent, and concentrating on getting it right. I had tuned out even ambient noise. Well, I'll get used to it again. I'm glad she is back.
I'm done making up all my work. Just in time. I won't have to miss the festival.
Insert wahaha here.
If they really tried to enforce that, I would pull you out on student council business. If they really, really tried to enforce that, you would pull me out on student council business?
That's abuse of power.
No, it isn't, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says if there are only 2 student council members overseeing the festival, it would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely. It has to be at least 3. It's for the good of everyone. It's perfectly reasonable. It's necessary.
Shizune leans across the table a bit as Alicia delivers her slightly disturbing, militaristic justifications in a childish, bubbly, up-and-down tone. Shizune looks happy, though, tenting her fingers and trying to hold back a laugh as Misha pouts more seriously on her behalf. If you say so. I'm actually happy right now that we can talk so easily to each other. All 3 of us. In the beginning, I thought that I might have found myself in a bad situation. I was sure that Shizune would hate getting saddled with being tour guide for the new guy. I didn't want to be that kind of burden either. It'd be awkward even if she weren't deaf and mute too. Just now, she said that we would all have to be at the festival. The whole student council. I don't think that the student council has any real jurisdiction over Tanabata. It's only Shizune's way of saying that she wants us to spend it together. It's nice to have friends. It's a simple thought, but one that makes me genuinely happy that we could slip into being such with so much ease. Despite the roundabout way in which she said it, I'm glad that Shizune thinks it's strongly enough thinks it strongly enough to express it at all.
Why did you wait until we waved you over to come sit with us?
Question out of nowhere. Shizune's eyes are expectant as Misha repeats her message. I feel like teasing her. You want me to sit with you that badly?
We're in the student council. We should sit together as much as possible. It's logic. Anyone would jump at the chance to sit with two cute girls anyway.
She pauses in case I might say something like, "You're not that cute," and instantly lock myself into an obvious no-win situation. When I don't take the bait, Shizune becomes more energetic and continues.
You're abnormal.
Well, I didn't expect her to end it like that. You're too quick to call other people abnormal. So arrogant.
You're too quick to call other people arrogant. That makes you arrogant, and arrogance is also abnormal. You're double abnormal.
It doesn't work that way. It's a sliding scale. Leaning on her arm, Misha closes her eyes and lets out a low, slow laugh like a chuckle. Don't laugh.
Don't laugh in this kind of situation.
I notice that Misha signs everything I say to Shizune anyway, even though I'm signing myself. This is redundant, but it's also unconscious. It's also an unconscious action for Misha. On the other hand, I can't stop. If I let myself take it easy and sign less just because Misha's back, then what was all this for? I don't want to risk losing familiarity without a sign either. My hands are pretty slow to speak on my behalf as it is.
He-chan, you and She-chan talk to each other much more now. Back and forth. It's really funny, too. Like an old married couple, right? Right?
What a loaded comment, in so many ways. Although, because it's Misha, it can't have been on purpose. That's not a compliment. Shizune doesn't react to Misha trying to pair the two of us up. Maybe she didn't see it. Sometimes it does happen, I've noticed. I still wonder if it's really that simple. Why do I care so much? But I don't want to think about it too hard. I want to leave. I keep thinking that I'm hogging Misha's time with Shizune, and it could be that Misha cut in just now on purpose, feeling that way too. I doubt that either of them will let me leave, though. In some ways, they're too nice. Anyway, Shizune, if you really want to know, I didn't want to sit here because I didn't want to intrude. I thought that because of Misha being away for supplementary lessons or whatever, you two would have a lot to talk about, and I should just leave you alone to catch up. That's why I thought I would just hang back. Don't worry, Bisha. I'm not trying to monopolize Shizune. Insert wahaha here.
He-chan, it's not like that. You're so considerate, He-chan. She-chan is sorry and apologizes.
I don't really think it's worth apologizing over, so don't worry about it. Hey, don't you both think that since Misha's back, we should go celebrate somehow? I think so. Oh my... dude.
He-chan, usually having to make up work isn't something to celebrate over. No, it's a good idea.
Timing is perfect. And Shizune said the student council should have a little more fun too sometimes. You probably heard that too, right, Misha? It should be fine. Actually, wait a second. Didn't you have to make up work because you were missing so many classes to begin with? So skipping out to celebrate would be kinda stupid. Maybe the timing isn't perfect, like I said, but we should go after school.
Where should we go?
Misha speaks Shizune's question to her aloud before she even stops to think it over, both of them completely ignoring me. Hey, listen to me, two-man short-sighted student council team. Insert wahaha here.
Hee-chan, you're a part of this team too!
Yeah. I guess I am.
Yeah! You are Hee-chan! So forgetful and troublesome. I feel sorry for the girl who falls in love with you. So, where do you think we should go?
I'm laughing in spite of myself, wanting to point out how Misha seems so enthusiastic now when she was the one who was most apprehensive about it a few seconds ago. For whatever reason, I can't bring myself to do it. But this is okay too. After a short discussion on where to go, it seems like the only place all three of us know and are willing to travel to is the Shanghai. Tea House doesn't look like a bad place to celebrate, especially because I'm sure they sell cake there, and cake is the most celebratory food. I haven't seen Yuko in a while either, and neither have the girls. For all these reasons, plus the fact that it's so close, I end up standing in front of the little tea shop with Shizune and Misha before I know it. Welcome back, Yuko.
Welcome!
It's been a while since I heard Yuko's voice, so I'm surprised all over again by the energy she puts into her greetings. Kinda like an extremely nervous Misha.
Hi! But you don't have to do that all the time if it's just us. Yes, I do. But... Okay, if you say so, Yuko.
I take this moment to glance around the tea house and notice that it is as empty as ever. It's lunchtime, especially the peak hour for an establishment of this type. And yet, it's as barren as ever. I don't understand. There has to be a reason for this. Shizune gently taps my arm to get my attention.
What do you want to get?
Yuko looks a little agitated after Misha automatically relays the question.
No, I'm supposed to ask that. Is there anything I can get for you?
Just some coffee for now, I guess. Thanks. The dedication Yuko has towards her waitressing duties is sort of admirable. So is the speed at which she whisks slices of cake and our drinks to our table when we order. Then again, we're the only customers here. Who knows what it would be like with a full house? Shizune and Misha immediately dig into their cakes with gusto, probably because they can't talk with utensils in their hands. The whole point of sharing a meal with friends like this is to be able to talk over it, after all. It makes sense it would be the same with them. I'm barely halfway through my cake when I hear their forks clinking as they set them down on their empty plates. It's not healthy to inhale your food.
Hee-chan sounds like an old man.
I cringe and instantly feel like I've been punched.
Are you going to wear yukata tomorrow, Hee-chan?
No, I don't even have one. Well, even if I did, I'm not the kind of guy who does stuff like that. What about you? Are you two going to dress up?
Of course.
What do you mean, of course? You didn't dress up last time.
One time is not a trend. It's a completely different situation anyway. Aside from not being Tanabata. The festival was on school grounds. Students should wear their uniform on school grounds.
Clearly a joke, but her delivery isn't any different from the usual. That isn't normal, but her sense of humor never was, and I'm used to it. I guess her way of saying outrageous things seriously is a little better than if she were to say serious things outrageously. What's more troubling in any case is that I've started to associate a voice with her signing, and it's clashing with how Misha says out loud everything Shizune signs anyway. I feel disoriented. That's actually a good... Yeah, that's actually something I'd want to know. If you're signing to someone who is deaf for long periods of time, do you just start giving them a voice in your head? That is honestly something I've never thought of for obvious reasons. I don't know sign language, nor do I know anybody who is, deaf and mute. I mean, I worked with a deaf guy, but he read lips. And he could still talk. So that was something. Probably had the advantage in working as a dishwasher. He didn't have to hear the stupid machines going all the time. So he saved himself from that. On that accord. But just getting his attention sometimes a little difficult, but oh well. It still worked out. He was a good enough guy. I'm actually gonna be right back. I need to use the bathroom. Alright, I'm back.
I'll dress up this time. I'll dress up this time. You'll see, He-chan. Not just She-chan, but me too. Maybe I'll change my hairstyle too.
Don't do that. I can't really imagine you looking differently. Whatever. Works. Yeah, no, Misha, keep the drills. Shizune wags a finger and smiles.
Such a quick and firm disapproval. What if I were to change my hairstyle?
Maybe you should grow your hair out and make it look like drills. She looks unamused. Luckily, I see Yuko making her way over, likely to clear our plates and ask if we need anything from her. Yuko, are you doing anything for Tanabata?
Huh?
It's like she was practicing how to most smoothly ask if I needed a refill of coffee while walking over. But she has no idea what to do, having been asked a question first. I feel bad.
Yes, I'm working. Yuko, they make you work on holidays? Aww. We have the most business on holidays, and sometimes tourists. I don't mind. I have to do my best. I understand completely. So admirable.
Morning, Nichols. How's it going? It's going good. It's going real good. Not too much has happened game-wise. Just prepping for Tanabata, that's all. We've actually, after Misha spilled the beans to Shizune earlier that we're learning sign language, it's like we told her, like, yeah, we know it, so let's actually talk. Hence why more of her dialogue is now in brackets, because we're able to understand what the hell she's signing. The game very early on was making me really introspective about things. It's like, okay, was doing boring manual tasks when you're deaf even more boring? Because you can't hear anything, you're just going through the motions of stuff. You can't play any music, so that'd be off the table. You can't even talk to someone. I mean, technically you can, but you have to stop all work you're doing to sign what you want to say, so you can't even, work and talk at the same time as a deaf person. In order to speak, you have to literally stop everything you're doing to do it. You can't talk and eat, you can't work and eat. You can't even hold something and talk to people. It's just like, huh. That's something you really gotta get used to. I mean, luckily, Shizune has, obviously gotten used to this because she's been deaf her entire life. So this is just nothing new to her at all. It probably bothers her a bit, maybe, on a small level deep inside, but she doesn't show it. It's just her normal. Which also really got me thinking how my normal is different from somebody else's normal. Like, I was using Lily and Shizune as examples of that. Lily has been blind her entire life, so seeing things is something, obviously, she's never done, but that's just her normal. She's never had sight, so she's just, like, gone on. It's like, it's nothing. She's not missing out on something, because she's never experienced it, really. And Shizune, she's never heard anything before in her life, but that's just normal for her. If you were to suddenly give the two of them sight and hearing, it would be incredibly foreign. And it would be abnormal to them. And then using, say, myself as the other example, I have my sight and my hearing. I were to suddenly take those away, that would be completely, abnormal. There is no set definition of normal. It's individualized for each person. Something is only abnormal when it's different from what you consider, well, from what you're used to. This game, made by a bunch of people on 4chan, making me really think. Just think about everything. Shizune nods her head in solidarity, feeling a kind of kinship with Yuko through their shared determination to do the best. Although for her, it's a matter of pride, whereas Yuko might just feel like she really, really needs this job and maybe a raise. The most business, huh? So how many people on average during a holiday? Well... She just noped out of that one. Yuko walks away and starts cleaning a cup of swizzle sticks. That isn't polite. This is not what a proper waitress would do. Nevertheless, I sorta got my answer anyway. Clearly, business is scarce at best. Start to wonder again how the Shanghai remains open at all. Maybe this eclectic style of tea house is a trend that was outrageously successful before I got here, but isn't anymore? And they're just keeping it like this while they retool. Maybe the owner is rich and is involved in some sort of bet with someone else? Or a crazy scheme to see who can lose the most money? Maybe I just conveniently miss mobs of customers by seconds each visit. Or maybe this place is just a front for arms dealers. Since there's no one else here, why don't you sit down with us? We can talk about economic infeasibility, but Yuko doesn't take the bait, shaking her head from side to side empathetically. Or empathetically, whatever.
I've never really celebrated Tanabata before, or dressed up for anything like this. I'll finally be able to wear my yukata! Yay, yay!
What do you mean, never? What about last year?
Last year, Shi-chan, me, and the 3-2 class rep ran a stall for the festival. It was a soba stall, I think. Yeah, it was. Yep.
Well, we know they ran a stall at least last year. From the picture Akira showed us in Lily's route of the three of them working together. And I like how she doesn't even call Lily Lily, just the class 3-2 rep. The blind class rep of 3-2 must be Lily. I'm surprised they're able to work together on anything. Misha would likely be the best possible buffer for that kind of thing, with how innocent she is.
Shi-chan cooked and Lily took the orders, and I translated for them. Shi-chan kept saying, "It's so inefficient. Misha, why do you have to be the middleman? As in, why is there a middleman in the first place? Huh? It would be fine if I did the cooking and you took the orders? It doesn't make sense at all." But I think everyone had fun in the end. Right, Shi-chan?
Is Shizune gonna admit she had fun working with Lily? Probably not. Shizune adjusts her glasses grudgingly, causing Misha to break into laughter. Hey Mass, how's it going?
It was the old student council's idea. That's why.
So what was the last student council like then? Shizune finally decides to step in again, or it's more like she can't stop herself. Terrible. That was blunt. She ends with a chopping motion as if to pass judgment on them. I hope she's gonna elaborate a little. Okie doke, man.
At universities and some private schools, student councils have control over millions of yen to budget and distribute as needed. Wow. Really? Millions? And they were so much more involved in school activities too, Hee-chan.
From Misha's tone, it seems like this is newer to her than it is to me.
This school students' council was like a complete joke in comparison. Don't give people positions of power if they don't have any power at all. What's the point?
So,
I wanted us to have more and more work. It was hard to convince the school and the other student council members to allow it. Actually, a lot of the work you've been seeing us do really is... I can't even fucking speak right now. Let's try that again. Actually, a lot of the work you've seen us do really is work that I took on, which is what Lily was talking about.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Hope it doesn't become too much of a pain to deal with.
If it wasn't for Shi-chan, the student council would just file attendance reports day in and day out. Would you prefer that, Hee-chan? Of course, Hee-chan, as soon as the workload started going up, most of the student council stopped coming.
Insert wahaha here. Shizune's fingers fold over each other carefully. It looks like she wants to add something, but she can't bring herself to. Like she said, sign language gives you a little more time to think about what you say. I guess she feels like she can't talk about this.
That was then, and this is now. Let's just have fun tomorrow.
And that's what she finally settles for. Yeah.
Okay, then student council is adjourned for today. It has to be adjourned excitedly because today was a good day.
School seems to be over by the time we leave the tea house, as I can see students coming down from school as we walk up the road towards it. A couple people wearing our school uniform look at Shizune as she walks by, and I wonder if they recognize her as the student council president, or if their eyes are just being drawn to Misha's head. It's impossible not to overhear the chatter in the air, and the topic is more often than not plans for Tanabata. I wonder how many of them will be using or going to the stalls that I reassembled. Makes me feel a little pride. An emotion I've never felt doing something for school. Maybe this is how Shizune feels as well. I almost want to ask, but it seems stupid to want to do so. So I just hold on to the thought as the three of us walk onto campus and then separate. Shizune to the student council room, and Misha and me to our dorms. It isn't until they're gone that I realize I again didn't ask when and where they wanted to meet up tomorrow. Even though it was a holiday, I wake up at the same time as usual, on a day when everyone else is likely sleeping in for another 6 hours. I take my morning regime of pills for the first time in a few days. Admittedly, I had let my medication slip my mind. Looking at the rows of bottles in front of me, I don't know how I managed to. You have a fucking heart condition. You could die at any goddamn moment, and the one thing that helps to keep you fucking alive is your pills. And you forget about them? We already saw what happened in Lily's route when he forgot his medication for just, a day. He almost had another heart attack. And now this is days? Jesus Christ. 17 different medications. I feel full enough to skip breakfast after taking all of them. I'm already up, so I might as well take a walk. The weather looks nice outside, giving off an idyllic atmosphere I'd often dreamed of. Because Hisao is stupid a lot. He makes a lot of stupid decisions. That's how he managed to forget 17 medications for days. It's always been kind of a romantic notion to me to be able to meander around in the countryside, taking in the fresh air. Now that an opportunity to do just that is here, I can't resist, even though I know it must seem silly. Is it Tanabata today? I mean, I forget my meds sometimes, but I take six different pills in the morning. Sometimes you just have a weird morning or sleep in. Well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen, but like, shit, dude, you were in the hospital for 4 months. And all this stuff is to help keep you alive. Again, we saw what happened in the Lily route when he forgot a day. We got to take them for a single day. Just walking a mile nearly killed him. No, that's true. I'm still gonna label it as Hisao just being a dumbass like he is throughout a lot of the points in this freaking game. He just, you know, is an idiot. If his little idiot hair on his head doesn't, you know, say that much. When the anime characters got that single strand of hair at the top of their head that goes out, yeah, that's the idiot hair, so you know they're gonna be kind of dumb at times. And boy, oh boy, is Hisao dumb. Yeah, the idiot hair. The Ahego. Even super serious characters can have an Ahego. Look at Fate Stay Night. Saber, literally female King Arthur, has the idiot hair because she can be kind of dumb. Also just really, really likes food. God. I stop at the main building in order to buy a drink, and then decide to enter it and maybe hang around on the roof a little bit. The view might be pretty cool at this time, and I'm sure that nobody else will be up there either. And I've never been up there by myself. The school is quiet today. Deserted. My footsteps echoing in the staircase to the roof are unnervingly loud. It shouldn't bother me due to how much time I've spent in sign language class in near total silence, or working with Shizune lately, but it still does. It makes the smallest noises that I wouldn't have even noticed before seem boomingly loud. Feels like I'm sneaking around someplace I shouldn't be. Wonder why I'm getting that vibe. Maybe the school is haunted or something. When I open the door to the roof, I see I'm not alone. Misha leans against the fence, looking over the school grounds, not having noticed me at all. Instantly, I know what I have to do. I have to put my hands over her eyes and say, "Guess who?" It's the only option. Halfway, I start thinking of how bad this would look if Shizune suddenly popped in, having left just for a second to get some sandwiches and saw me sneaking up on Misha like this. I pray silently that such a coincidental misunderstanding doesn't happen. Guess who?
Hee-chan!
She says without hesitating for a second, without deviating even slightly from her normal tone. My fun was over before it started.
Hi, Hee-chan! Good morning!
She reflexively tries to move her hands to form a greeting and entangles them in the fencing. Good morning. Didn't expect to find you here. What are you doing up so early?
I could ask you the same thing, Hee-chan. What are you doing up so early? I didn't expect to find you here.
I asked you first.
You're right.
Insert wahaha here.
You sound just like Shi-chan.
No, I don't. I say in the least convincing manner possible. Luckily, Misha doesn't notice what a bad actor I am. Are you looking forward to tonight?
Of course, Hee-chan. I don't like celebrations, or maybe not as much as Shi-chan does, but Tanabata stands always have interesting things to buy, and all kinds of seasonal food. And I get to wear a yukata.
Okay, so Tanabata is tonight. Okay. So if we remember our series of events from previous routes, Hanako's route ended like right at I think just after exams or just before, one of the two. And Lily was on a trip to see her aunt in Scotland. Emmy's route took place about a week or so after exams. So they're kind of fresh into the next semester of the year. Lily's entire route ends sometime after Tanabata, because in her good ending, we were in the hospital and we missed it because we were hospitalized. We are still in Act 2 of Shizune's route, and Tanabata is, later today. So clearly, Shizune's route is expanding across a longer time than the other 3 routes so far. So, a long time has already gone by. Choice of words is a little strange. Sounds like she's saying that she doesn't like celebrations, but likes doing everything involved with them. I don't know if it's worth pursuing, though, and it could be that I just misunderstood.
What about you, Hee-chan?
I am, or else I just stay home. I'd just stay home, wouldn't I? That's a logical step.
Hee-chan, you're not that logical, so that's really surprising. Okay, though. I was just making sure, because you didn't look like you were having a lot of fun last time. Me and Shi-chan were a little worried because of that.
Hey, I had fun. I guess I ended up appreciating it more than I expected to.
Really, Hee-chan?
Insert wahaha here.
What part of it? Tell me!
1 second, I gotta do something. Sorry about that. Had to help put things away. Alright. So let's get back into it. Well, there were fireworks at the end. They were really nice. I think you slept through them.
Ah, I always fall asleep early, but I won't sleep through them this year. I'll definitely stay awake.
I don't think they have fireworks during Tanabata. It's a different mood entirely. Maybe you can get Shizune to petition them to have them, though. And to move the fireworks to an earlier time.
Maybe I will. It's a great idea, Hee-chan.
No, it's not! Don't do that. I wasn't being serious. Although, maybe it would annoy Shizune. Insert wahaha here.
You make it sound like that. You make it sound like you would like that, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, do you like Shi-chan?
I can't say yes or no, and sitting down like I am, I can't even move. I can't even smoothly leave. Don't be silly. The one I like is you.
Really, Hee-chan? No, you're kidding, right? You must like Shi-chan more.
Misha, you jump to conclusions too much.
But you almost called her Shi-chan. So, I'm right?
It's because you call her Shi-chan all the time. Got stuck in my head. Osmosing language is common, you know. Besides, it's one little slip-up. By your logic, you should like her more than me. And... are you making fun of me or something? Insert wahaha here.
Maybe. I'm hungry. Did you eat breakfast, Hee-chan?
No, just medicine. Misha twirls her finger lazily in the air to keep her hands busy as she thinks.
We should eat something then. Do you think they'll be serving breakfast today?
That's really the kind of thing a member of the student council should know. I can't say that, though. I'm on the student council and I don't know. It didn't seem like anyone was working in the kitchen when I entered the building, but I don't know for sure.
Hey, Hee-chan, have you ever heard about those vending machines that you can get food from? Like burgers, soup, and even pizza? Wouldn't it be great if we had some of those at our school?
I've seen one of those. In Toronto. An actual vending machine. You put money in and you get a full pizza from. I don't know how many pizzas are stocked in there for them to be able to be heated up quickly, but, I was really tempted to try it, but I really did not want to trust, vending machine pizza. Surprisingly of all, I did not see, any food vending machines in Japan. Plenty of drinks. Plenty of cigarette ones. Maybe even a few electronics, just for charging cables and whatnot, but nothing with food. Just drinks, cigarettes, and chargers. Oh, and game cards. And what I mean by game cards, I mean, here's your little card, insert it into the arcade machine, that way it saves all of your progress and data. So if you're playing certain games like a fighting game, it'll save all of your stats. Which is interesting. I still have my cards. I think I have them inside my big passport thing with a whole bunch of my other Japanese paraphernalia. Like, I saved all my receipts from Japan. I don't know why. I just saved every single one. Other than the food stuff, like any of the stuff I got from convenience stores. So I still got everything there. I still got my ticket from Disneyland and Disney Sea. Pretty sure I still have my ticket from Sanrio Pearl Land. I have my quote-unquote ticket from, what's it called? The Studio Ghibli Museum, which... Actually, I did get a ticket, and then they gave us a ticket to watch, like, a short little animated, thing. The ticket being, here's like a slice of a film reel from one of the films. Probably, obviously, a reproduction because they would run out of those really fast, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. Then again, to go to the Ghibli Museum, you had to make an appointment. Which I think is pretty interesting. You actually had to, ahead of time, go to their site and fill out an appointment for when you're going to show up and book your time at the museum. You go there, you check in, they let you in, and then, well, roam around inside and up top. And then you can leave whenever you want. But once you leave, you can't get back in. It's pretty cool. Enough of that tangent. Let's back to this. I don't know. I always thought those machines were kind of weird.
Imagine how cool it would be if we had machines like that at our school, Hee-chan. It would almost be like magic, wouldn't it? Hot food coming out of a vending machine? That's so amazing. I could never imagine that. Seeing one of those machines would be like a dream. We don't have machines like that in this whole town, though. It's too early to even go out into town. I wouldn't be able to eat breakfast, Hee-chan. That's the most important meal of the day. Everyone says so. I want to eat.
You're really silly. If it bothers you so much, I'll buy you a soda. Misha puffs out her cheeks and puts on her serious face.
Hee-chan, a soda is not a breakfast. It's like water.
It's not like water, it's a liquid. Water isn't food. Liquid can be a food. Now who sounds like Shizune, Misha? I want to say it. Even her tone reminds me of Shizune's unblinking, matter-of-fact way of stating the ridiculous. If I did say that, though, I would be the one who sounds like Shizune again. It's terrible. Her competitiveness is really rubbing off on me. Let's look for something to eat, then.
Okay.
Predictably, our search for food in an empty school building this early in the morning leads only to failure. Misha decides to go off on her own after we both decide to give up for now, vowing to eat breakfast even though by now it's closer to time for brunch. I go back to my dorm. The following hours tick by slowly, and I pass the time by catching up on my reading. Some of these books I haven't touched since I was in the hospital. Thinking back on it, it wasn't that long ago, even though it definitely feels like it was. A free day, and I can't think of anything to do. I take a short nap as I change for the second time today. I realize that I never actually confirmed with Shizune or Misha when and where we would meet up. I guess that eventually they would come looking for me, but I would look pretty stupid if it came to that. It's already evening, so I should at least make an effort to find them first. Even though the grounds aren't exactly flooded with people, and it should be impossible to miss Misha's pink hair, even if it were, I have a lot of difficulty finding them. Finally, I run into them at the front gate, which was the first place I had looked. God damn it. They actually gave them outfits.
Hello.
She attempts to punctuate her normal greeting with a grand little sweep at the end. Still, oh my god, she's got drills in the back too. God damn it.
Hee-chan! How are you?
It's strange seeing them in yukata, though I've been seeing yukata in general all night. Shizune's is simple and tasteful, which seems obvious for her in retrospect. For all her grand flourishes and over-the-top behavior, I think she'd rather die than dress the part. What draws my eye is the hairpin she's wearing, a pearl flower that gleams softly in the moonlight. It looks pretty on her, but in a way it also feels out of place, as if it's too elaborate for a high school girl, or maybe just someone who's as secretly childish as Shizune. Misha's yukata is about what I expected, so it actually fits a little too well. Paired with her bubblegum pink hair, she looks cute, but anachronistic. You two look nice.
Thanks, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, you're a little late. We were waiting here for a while. Did you forget the time or the place? Oh well. Let's get going, Hee-chan.
Misha dropping this line of discussion saves me what could potentially be a pretty embarrassing thing to own up to. Specifically, that I had been looking for them for at least an hour. And you didn't think the main gate was the place to stay? Seeing Shizune and Misha looking so cheerful, it's hard not to want to fall into the atmosphere and enjoy a nice night out. What bothers me is that I'm having some trouble reading Shizune's signing tonight. I haven't been to sign language class in almost a week, so I'm not surprised. I guess having lost focus for a while, I'm slipping. It certainly wouldn't be the first time. Hold on, where are we going? Into town?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. We haven't even checked out what's on the grounds. Unless you decided to have fun while I wasn't looking.
We're going to come back. We'll be working our way up. Either way, Hee-chan, we have to walk into town and then back up if we want to see everything. So, this way, after we're done, we'll be right by our dorms when we're tired. It works out perfectly.
That is admittedly logical. Shizune doesn't give me much time to argue anyway, grabbing me by my arm and lightly trying to pull me along. The streets illuminated only by the light of the moon and low lanterns tinted with tissue paper puts me at ease. Now that we're in town, Shizune moves a bit more slowly in order to see the sights. So I decide to walk more briskly in order to mess with her. But she quickly readjusts her own speed to match, letting out a soundless laugh before quickly signing to Misha with her offhand.
What do you want to do first, Hee-chan?
How about some games, if there are any?
I thought you didn't like games, Hee-chan.
I don't mind. The second time today, I feel her slim fingers wrapping around mine. Feels like all this time, I've been pulled along by Shizune's will. Occasionally, it's quite tiring, but I think that for the most part, I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just the quality of some people to drag others into their lives like a storm. That word fits Shizune sometimes, I think. Although I didn't want to tell Misha earlier today, I do like her.
Hee-chan, you're gonna win a doll for me too this time, right?
You're still thinking about that? Okay, I will. Time passes by faster than I thought it could as we run around, trying to do as many frivolous things as possible.
Snow cones! Hee-chan, do you want one?
Misha runs toward the stand, not even waiting to hear my answer.
They look delicious. I want one too. We'll play rock, paper, scissors to see who can pay for them all.
Or we could pay for our own.
Hee-chan, what flavor do you want?
The blue one.
Blue is not a flavor.
I knew that.
Ordering something based on color is childish.
You're childish. What are you getting? What are you getting? Are you getting strawberry? Ha! That's such a childish flavor. Only children eat strawberry. Fuck you, buddy. I will take strawberry ice cream. I'll take a strawberry snow cone. I don't care. You trying to say strawberries only for children? Sometimes I hate us out. Then again, he's probably only saying this just to mess with her. Excuse me while I eat some pizza.
You should get plain, the most mature flavor of all.
I want to know where her personality comes from. I wonder if I would think that way if she hadn't been the first student I ended up having a conversation with on my first day here. It's entirely possible that I've missed the parts of her that kept drawing me in. If I didn't know she couldn't hear me, and that she was so competitive, and so focused on getting me to join the student council, and so alternatingly playful and sharp, got these constant new facets to keep my interest in her, would I have grown to like her so much? It's likely that I'm overthinking it. Aren't you gonna make a wish?
Shi-chan never makes wishes, Hee-chan.
Oh, really? Not even on New Year's. Why's that? Shizune tenses her fingers and smiles, but won't answer.
It's a secret. I know! Hee-chan, do you want me to tell you?
Yes. Shizune alternates between as many forceful iterations of no she can think of. Insert wahaha here.
I'll tell you later, okay? Actually, I feel tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed early.
Really? Doesn't feel like it's been that long. Time flies when you're having fun.
But it hangs, Hee-chan. Maybe I can visit Yuko first, then go back? Or... I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. Have fun without me, okay?
We're gonna go back to school soon anyway, Misha. Misha doesn't want to hear it and leaves anyway. Shizune starts to wonder why just as soon as I do, but while I keep it in my head, she signs it, seeming to want to discuss the possible reasons. After we're both done seeing all there is to see, I check the time and find that it is pretty late. My energy's starting to wear off, and it's a miracle that I managed to have even this much, too. Even Shizune is starting to look a bit tired. We make our way back to the grounds. Shizune seems disappointed when she sees the school building lit up and teeming with students. Something wrong?
I wanted to go up to the roof, but now there are too many people. I'm tired, so it might be for the best.
There are probably couples on the roof, since it's that kind of holiday. Then again, I wouldn't know. Is that how it really is? I'd never been to any festivals before coming here. I'm disappointed. I thought you said you wanted to see what the school was doing last, like saving the best for last. Now you're telling me you don't want to? Not even a little? I thought you would have more energy. I don't feel tired. This seems to spark her competitive spirit, and Shizune immediately perks up. Although it's then that I realize I didn't have anywhere in mind to take her, and I don't feel like going to the main building myself. Fortunately, the area behind the school is both deserted and impressive looking today. I'd never appreciated how sprawling and well kept it was until seeing it at night. It almost seems to go on forever in the moonlight. Holy crap.
It's very pretty, even though it's just a field.
I had thought earlier that she was too immature to pull off the old-fashioned clothes she's wearing tonight, but right now she's quite beautiful in them. Makes me think back to that day, the other festival that I went to with her. She had looked the same way then. I want to tell her that I like her, decisively, in one go. But even thinking about it is just so awkward. And the more I like her, the more awkward and afraid I am of telling her how I feel. Even now, when I could do so if I wanted, without having to go through another person. Not to mention, what if what happened last time happens again? If it does, I might not get off so easily with a months-long hospital stay. I don't want to even think about it. I try to shove the thoughts out of my mind any way possible. I try to dismiss them as unlikely fears. Still, the first time I had seen all my pills, I had imagined them cascading before me, enough of them to choke me. I still think about it from time to time. I can't say that it's not a legitimate concern. Times like these are nice enough that I can forget, though.
My favorite thing about this school is that it's on top of a mountain.
Is it because it's that much closer to the sky?
Yes,
I like it too, but more because of the fresh air. You're so competitive. Too competitive. If a whale bit you, you would bite it back. That makes her laugh, and she winks.
would that be so bad?
Her smile is contagious. Yes.
It's true. I'm terrible. A little. But if I can make people happy, I'm not entirely terrible, am I? Then it's okay. I have many examples in my defense.
Maybe even this moment is kind of a game to her. That's right. This is a romantic moment. I don't know if such a chance might come again, and I feel compelled to say something awkward and stupid. If I think about it too much, I doubt my hands will listen to me. Do you want to be my girlfriend? I hope that I signed it properly. I feel nervous, as if I want to break into a run, yet I'm rooted to the spot. I couldn't hear a thing just minutes ago. Now I'm picking up every little ambient noise. I really am nervous, and I wonder if it shows. Before, hours passed like seconds. Now the seconds pass like eons. Then I see Shizune's hands moving unsteadily before her, fumbling over each other, stopping halfway through each gesture. It's like she said, sign language gives you an opportunity to think your words through, and she's trying very hard to do that right now. A situation that she doesn't know how to respond to. Must be unthinkable. As stoic as Shizune tries to be, she can't hide her reddening cheeks, and she's very cute and feminine like this. And it puts me at ease to know she's as nervous as I am. The thought is yet another way in which I found myself competing with her. Okay. It's a simple reply, but as soon as I think that, Shizune takes a step forward and embraces me. An unsure and careful embrace, as if I were made of eggshell, and as if she doesn't know how to hug someone. Although, to be honest, it's not a subject I'm familiar with either. Her yukata is cool and silky under my fingers, but I can also feel Shizune's warmth. In the end, she thought this the best possible gesture to show how she felt. Act 3. Sleight of Hand. Alright, I'm gonna save that there, because that was my plan. Get through Tanabata and get on to Act 3. Alright, so yeah, a lot happened today. Very, very obviously. But hey, cool. We are now we're dating Shizune. We're dating the president. And as Nichols kind of said before, we are the first Hisao. Yeah, it is actually really cute. Normally she's prepared for everything, but even that kind of took her off guard. Poutine and a Polish sausage from Costco. Okay, let me just check my Twitter. Okay. Had a chicken burger? Nice, nice. Haven't had a chicken burger in a while. Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll probably just try and order one. Man, I really enjoy Katawa Shoujo so much. I'm even Shizune's route, which a lot of people consider to be the worst route in the whole game. I like it. I like it just fine. I'll definitely get into more of my thoughts on it once we actually complete it. Because there's a lot I gotta say about Shizune's route. Alright, so tomorrow, 10 o'clock, back to SD Gundam. More action in the post-disaster era. So that'll be fun. We get to beat the crap out of suits with giant swords, axes, and maces. Or in Jen's case, a tail, and in Sweater's case, chainsaws. So, yeah, not really enough people for a raid, unfortunately. That's okay though. One of these days, I'll have some more people to be able to raid somebody. That's okay. Don't need to. It's not an obligation. Oh, I'm stiff right now. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching, commenting, and lurking. I actually really appreciate it. I hope you have yourselves a great rest of your Thursday. See you next time.